Hi there, it's Eugenie here. It feels so good to be back after 2 months of traveling. I'm a first year PhD student in the ECS department here at MIT, although I'll be going to my second year in the coming fall, and I don't feel ready. But this video is not about my insecurities. And so I applied to the PhD programs in computer science in 2020. Previously, I talked about how I did my long-term planning and things, and that helped me get into almost every single program I applied to. In this video, I'll go into the details of my application, so check out the long-term planning video if you're interested. Then this video will focus on the different sections and things. So let's get into it. Oh, and before we get started, just one last disclaimer. So within computer science, I'm in systems, and so just to keep this context in mind when you look at my profile and stuff, because sometimes things can be transferable to other fields and sometimes it's more difficult. So yeah, so let's get into it. Let's talk about stats first. So in undergrad, I'm Canadian. In undergrad, I went to University of British Columbia in Canada, Vancouver. I had a 3.9 out of 4 GPA when I applied. Yes, I did not have a perfect GPA as undergrad. In my first year undergrad, I actually didn't do very well and got a few B's. Is GPA important? Depends. So I think as long as the GPA is past some certain threshold, it's like a check mark. So it's almost insignificant after that point. But please don't get discouraged when you don't have a perfect GPA. GRE is not required in my year because of everything going on at the time. Yeah, a lot of GRE exams got cancelled, so it was not required for me. And now let's move on to publications. By the time I applied, I was the second author of 2 short papers and the first author of 1 paper submitted. All the papers were on topics that are relevant to my PhD application. I don't feel comfortable with commenting on how important publications are, but from my personal experiences, publications are kind of like a byproduct of great research experiences and great reference letters, which are way more important. And so now for the work and research experiences, so I did an 8-month internship in the industry as a full stack developer. And by the time I applied, I had also worked in the data management and mining lab at UBC for around like 2 years. So in addition, I had a summer research internship with UBC Data Science Institute. I've done 1 research-based grad course at UBC. Yeah, so for those experiences, details, you can find it in the long-term planning video, which I will probably link somewhere down the description maybe. So check that out if you're interested. Probably one of the most important component of grad application, that's letters of recommendations. So all of my letters are from my research experiences. I think I had 2 very strong letters and 1 good letter. What constitutes a strong letter? So I think there are like 3 things. So first, the writer is reputable in the field, aka they're known by the admission committee and or the potential advisors you are applying to. And second, the writer can speak strongly about my research ability, so not just doing well in class. And lastly, the writer can comment on my other traits or abilities outside of the lab, but still relevant to professional development and career development, like how I handle the hard times and conflicts. I found this blog by a PhD student candidate or a doctor already from UW, and I found that very, very helpful during my application cycle. So please do check it out, because I've seen so many misconceptions around the strength of letters. So for example, a letter that's purely based on doing well in class can never be a strong reference letter because it has to be about research. Then lastly, let's talk about SOP also known as statement of purpose. So I did a blog post on my own SOP, which will be linked down below if you're interested, where I also posted my first draft and also the final draft, because I wanted to show the progress after applying some of the tips and tricks I talked about in the blog post. If people have more interest on that, I can also make a video on it and talk about things more in depth. So yeah, I think I have covered all the aspects of my application. One last thing, if you are anxious applicant, let's not compare ourselves. I know it's way easier said than done, and I'm still practicing that. I did that when I applied. I think it's just a human nature to do that. But a professor I worked with once told me that it is unfair to compare the ins and outs of ourselves to the best side of other people. And this note has been helping me get off this overthinking treadmill. So yeah, so that's the end of the video. Comment, subscribe. Also, I have my Instagram down below if you want to see my daily life at MIT. Yeah, I promise I'll try to be more consistent on YouTube, because I feel like for a lot of things I do want to share and I do want to talk about, a lot of times the knowledge gap or limitation can be something that's really stopping people from making progress, and it's very sad to learn that. So yeah, so I want to give out information as much as possible, or I want to help people. And yeah, let me know. And also good luck on your applications. See you next time.